Let the people know what's your name.
Yolanda Satchell.
Good. So what's the good news with the mixtape?
The good news is that I have a message to deliver for the people in the streets. Good, bad, or indifferent.
How do you Goldfingers link up?
Because I grew up with Goldfingers. I grew up with him. And not for nothing, he has always believed in me. He knew that I had many talents, skills of lightning, and I will help a person. I will give a person the shirt off my back. And not for nothing, I grew up in jail. I looked to the hills where my help come from. That's where I found the Lord. I was molested as a child. When I first told my mother, she said that I was lying. It wasn't until I got into 3rd grade that she found out the truth. I was in the bed asleep. I lived 322 Brunswick Avenue. My mother was in the tub. When she came out, I was awake. She asked me why I was awake so fast, and I told her to feel my backside, which was filled with Vaseline. She hit him in the head with a frying pan, but at the same token, she let him go out the back door when the cops was called. Now, I live over here on Laurel Circle. I lived over here on Laurel Circle. It's a green house over there. I don't remember the exact address.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the apartment building.
No.
Oh, okay.
And the man that molested me was my brother's father.
Oh my
His
God.
name is Larry Howard. He told me that if I told anybody that he would harm my family. As well, there was, my mother worked for the state for over 38 years. And Larry, when my mother became pregnant from Larry, he messed with her friend, which is my mother's friend, which is a state worker. Her name was Gwen. Okay, my brother, his name is Lamar Price. I have a sister named Desiree Price. I'm the middle child. I lived 864 Stuyvesant, and at that time, I began to use heroin. When I began to use heroin, I was happy because the same man that took my innocence as a child, he started to again use heroin. So that means that he left me alone. But I still had to fend for myself. I went to prison one time, and I told them that I would never be back. But in the same token, he wrote me a letter the day before I got out of jail, apologizing for the things that he had done to me. When I got home, the shit began to happen all over again. So I didn't know how. What I did was I comforted myself with street drugs. I didn't wake up and ask to be on drugs. That wasn't, I had to. My mother paid her son's father to babysit his own child. And I've always liked to help people. I always liked to help people. I also went and I lived 32 South Walton. My father would have card games. That's how I first found out about it. I was cleaning up the kitchen. 32 cats fell out of the curtain. Wow. This guy named Foot out River section. I took them to him. I went to school. me and one of my Puerto Rican classmates, we put it in a cigarette and we smoked it. But I could tell I didn't get a full effect because we laughed at that. I ran away and I went to Mississippi. I was supposed to go down there in Mississippi to stay with my sister, Hattie. And my sister has always been my backbone. She has always been there for me, good, bad, or indifference. My sister took care of me. My Aunt Charity, she introduced my sister to drugs. But I told my sister, no, you can't do that. You cannot do that. So with that being said, my sister never touched drugs again. But I continue to use drugs. And not for nothing. They comfort me. They soothe me. And as well, they cause me a lot of problems. I've had different jobs. I've worked in Buckingham Valley as a CNA. I've did security jobs. I also did I used to work at Trentonia and stuff in newspapers and things. But with my background, I have a lot of shoplifting records. I have a big long history of shoplifting records, so it's not easy for me to get a job. I completed drug court 2 times. 2 times. I'm a 2-time winner of being on drug court. Now, I knew that I was gonna get hired. I knew that. I had my drugs in the car waiting for me because it was soothing to me. I'm not gonna lie. The house that I live in now in South Trenton is my mother's house, which I got out of foreclosure. I got out of foreclosure all with drugs. Then the second time I completed drug court, I wasn't able to get my record expunged because I had caught other charges where I got caught with 100 grams of coke, a whole bunch of pills, and all that. But I also like to. I always wanted to have my own clothing brand. I wanted to learn how to make T-shirts and put things that people wanted on it. And I bought the materials to do it, but I also got frustrated with it because I didn't want to take the time to learn how to do it. I gave it away. So this time on drug court, I sat down and I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I bought that cricket machine again. I bought that heat press machine. So I made me a shirt that said, "Whoever counted me out couldn't count me." I began to sell those shirts as well. Then other people came to me and started buying other T-shirts. And the boyfriend that I'm with now, he told me that he would do my drug court with me. All along, he didn't do shit but the drugs, okay? But I still with that man because I know what it's like to be in jail. So I supported him all along while he was in jail. I would make sure he had money in his books. I would make sure he had commissary. I would make sure there was always minutes on the phone. I made sure I was there to pick him up when he got out of jail. I also, he came home from jail. I also made sure he had clothes, food, shelter, and everything else. But people know that I'm a very good person, and I like to pay forward. I'd rather give than to receive. And that's why my friend over there, Samantha Baldwin, gave me that name for the people in the streets. Because I grew up in the streets. That's it, that's all.